With the help of Tzu Chi volunteers, an elderly lady with a hoarding habit gets a new living environment. Tzu Chi volunteers work with the State Service Center in Klang, Malaysia, and deliver vegetarian lunches to a local housing project. Welcome to Dad Headlines. I'm Jenny Lee. Thank you for joining us. In Tainan, Taiwan, an 86-year-old grandmother who lives by herself has hoarded many items at her home. Tzu Chi volunteers who have accompanied her for a long time have gotten her permission to clean up the place for her. Here's the story.
Entering the bedroom, one sees the rack full of clothing. There's only enough space for one person to enter, and one cannot see the bed.
She
has to crawl up her body and sleep like this because this space is limited. Once she leaves the bed, she has to put the items back. This way, she'll have space to walk out.
86-year-old grandma lives by herself in a two-story house that is more than 60 years old. Her house is full of miscellaneous items. Tzu Chi volunteers who have cared for her for 5 years finally received her permission to clean up the place.
I needed to repair the house and she came. Tzu Chi volunteers came and said they want to help me clean up the place.
Volunteers respect and only process items she has agreed to discard.
She cannot let go. As we are about to discard something, she said that she wants to keep them.
Grandma does not want to discard the items, but a house full of miscellaneous items has created a big problem, hindering her movement. After confirming with Grandma about items she wants to save, nearly 50 volunteers moved the items and scrubbed the place. Finally, one can see the floor again. The bed is like a bed.
I'm very happy that the volunteers helped her and helped us. Without their help, we really do not know what to do.
I'm very grateful that so many people have come to help her clean up her house. It is very good and we can improve the environment.
After the house has been cleaned, families no longer have to worry for Grandma's safety. As Grandma lacks a feeling of security, volunteers will also continue to accompany her.
In Quanzhou, Fujian, a young girl called Hong Shiya has been taking care of her father since the age 4. The father was paralyzed due to a work accident and her mother left home. Since then, Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for this family. During their recent visit, they helped to decorate a bedroom for Shiya.
Fifteen-year-old Hong Shiya slept next to her father's bed in order to take care of him who has paralyzed for 10 years. However, she always wanted to have her own bedroom. So the volunteers came to help her realize her dream.
The color is very nice. It is more lively for girls.
Volunteers vacated the room that was originally used for keeping sundries and repainted it, and then brought Sia out to buy sets of desk and bed, trying to decorate the room according to her preference.
Shia likes green. This quilt cover is just the color she likes.
Sia's caring heart has been deeply rooted since childhood. 11 years ago, her father was paralyzed due to a work-related injury. When she was young, she took up the responsibility of caring for her father. Volunteer's companion for many years has made up for her lack of maternal love since childhood.
Volunteers' care is really meticulous. They care every one of us diligently and treat us like their family members.
And this visit after the New Year, the volunteers not only helped Sia decorate the room she always wanted, but also had glutinous rice balls with the family and gave her grandpa caring advice.
You have to guide her and lead her with patience. She's growing up now and needs more care, love, and patience. Everyone needs to care about her together.
The pink bedroom is in line with Sia's girlish feelings. It is expected that such warm color can make Sia feel being cared and loved.
Tzu Chi's winter distribution in Zhongjiang County in China has been delayed due to the pandemic. The event should have taken place before Lunar New Year, but was delayed until recently.
The cold winter in Zhongjiang County, Sichuan province is a little warmer now because of Tzu Chi's actions. To cooperate with the government's pandemic prevention measures, the sending of warmth was delayed, but this does not reduce the sincerity.
In order to comply with the pandemic prevention measures, the winter distribution was canceled, and now that spring will bloom, we'll negotiate with the government about how to proceed with smaller point distributions in the village. We want to send rice and oil to the folks and the blessings without delay.
The ceremony had a limited audience, but no step in the process is omitted, and volunteers are engaged in sending comforting letters and a sign language song as local government leaders also attend.
Tzu Chi Charity Foundation went to our Zhongjiang to carry out the promotion of the poverty alleviation, and we express a very warm welcome.
83 volunteers divide into 17 different lines to send rice and cooking oil for 2,023 households.
Volunteers for charities do not ignore the poor and bring care and love to the people. I will take this as an opportunity to be self-reliant and will not wait for gratitude.
For those who can't come to the scene, volunteers brought them blessings and warmth so that they will not be cold and alone during the long winter.
In response to the U.S. education reform, the Walnut Tzu Chi Elementary School in Los Angeles has to replace their textbooks. The school decided to send the original textbooks to the Morelos Institute in Mexico. Lately, the books finally reached Mexico.
I drew this because I want to give it to the Mexico kids. And I want to give them because I want them to learn English.
Elementary school students hand-painted cards to send their blessings together with the books to a country more than 3,000 kilometers away.
Because of the U.S. government education reform, we have a batch of textbooks that are still very new, yet will no longer be used. Then how to let these books perform their function? So the education team is actively working hard, trying to use it to send out love.
At that time, I thought of Tzu Chi's support of Catholic nuns to rebuild a school damaged by an earthquake in Jojota, Mexico, so I contacted them immediately.
Since 2019, Tzu Chi has started the construction work of schools that collapsed in an earthquake in Mexico, including the Morelos Institute. Although it has not been completed yet, the relay of love has already begun.
The boss of a truck company called back. He rushed to the education grounds and got 21 boxes of 642 books that night. On Saturday morning the next day, he worked overtime and crossed the border of San Diego and Mexico. By noon, he had successfully delivered the books to the nun.
Thanks so much for the books. We hope to read these books as soon as the school construction is finished.
Thank you for donating your books and also helping youth through our school. You are so generous and kind. We hope to see you soon.
Although the pandemic still continues, with the efforts of everyone, the transmission of love shows no bounds.
To boost student character education, Tzu Chi volunteers visited 2 schools in Zhongliao to present the school with wooden placards engraved with Jingsi aphorisms. They hope the words may bring positive influence to the children.
Short aphorisms hold a lot of meaning behind it and are super helpful to the students in their everyday life.
This Jingsi aphorism has taught me that anything we do in life must be done with willingness, happiness, and done well.
要多做，不要计较，才能获得更多。如果不做，就对自己没有好处。
One should never underestimate a child's understanding. Tzu Chi volunteers visited Zhongliao Elementary and Zhongliao Middle School to present the 2 schools with Jingsi placards in hopes of bringing further words of wisdom to the schools.
Some teachers will print out the aphorisms for the children to copy down. Others will write them in the parent-teacher communication book suited for the day, so that the family has a chance to be impacted by these words of wisdom.
With deep implementation of character education, it is hoped that Jin's placard helps to bring about a wave of compassion and charity to the students and their family.
The COVID pandemic has led to a substantial increase in the number of unemployed people in Malaysia. To counter this, Tzu Chi volunteers and the Klang Pandamaran State Council Service Center distributed 1,000 vegetarian lunches and dry food.
Before dawn, this vegetarian restaurant had already mobilized to prepare dishes. Tzu Chi Klang volunteers packed lunch boxes and prepared them to be sent to apartment buildings.
Tzu Chi volunteers, those who want to deliver food, you must wear gloves. When we talk, remind each other, don't get too close. Everyone take a step back.
Hello. Hello, good morning, Tzu Chi Foundation. We are here to distribute food.
Eat more vegetables and more fruits for your health.
Tzu Chi volunteers send out lunches from door to door and at the same time promote vegetarianism and environmental protection.
We're distributing this today to let sister try to eat it. In fact, vegetarian food can also be delicious. It doesn't have to be chicken or fish to be delicious.
Vegetarian is very good because it's a natural resource. It's not maybe due to that soil pollution. Even any leaves, green leaf vegetable also cannot sustain for 2 days also, Actually, we Indians, 1 week once definitely we will practice our vegetarian food, especially on Friday. And many people, they practice on Monday and Tuesday too.
You kindly help us. We'll have this meal and it will be delicious.
In addition to Tzu Chi volunteers, there are also more than 30 people who participate in this donation activity for the first time and felt it deeply.
When sending it to others, we see how hard things can be, and we can all understand.
Even if I share with him, he just listens and he can't feel what I did before. I hope he can understand where my intention is at the time. If we all can move our legs, everyone can do goods together.
Due to the pandemic, many industries have been affected and government representatives have been deployed in this operation.
Usually what we see in these families is most of them, or about 70% of them, are relatively poor, and we see that many of them don't have chairs and tables. They are all sitting on the ground, so these are really people who need help.
Time is tight and it was Wednesday, and then there are only a few days left. Just call us as soon as possible. Arrange this and that.
Although there are only 4 days to prepare, the volunteers are happy to contribute, hoping to help others and promote vegetarian eating together.
Tzu Chi volunteers from Sarawak, Malaysia initiated a vegetarian challenge and invited volunteers from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah to participate. From the preparation of the ingredients to the finished product, they shot a video and uploaded it to a Facebook page, showing the charm of vegetarian food.
Potatoes, yams, and other simple ingredients can be turned into delicious dishes.
Scoop it a little deeper. At this time, you can cook here. Can you see it? I didn't expect that I could cook until it's like real abalone juice. It's better than real abalone juice. I think this because it doesn't smell bad, and it's like the heavens are arranging this for us. I'm being quite clever.
Tzu Chi researches recipes on her own and mainly cooks with natural ingredients and shows that vegetables can also be delicious.
Nil vegetables require monkey head mushrooms or bean curd skins, as one must have protein.
Cooking all kinds of dishes with your heart and not just ordinary vegetables amazes everyone's taste buds.
I think the abalone is very special. It tastes chewy and it's drenched with a little seaweed, so it has a little seafood flavor. It's delicious with the broccoli and actually use very simple ingredients. When you try to do things with your heart, it can be very special.
There are green, red, and other colors indicating that it is very nutritious. And the soup she cooks is very light. She didn't add anything extra, so we can taste the food. It's natural food with the original taste.
Kia Sao Ling learns to record the cooking process for the first time, recording every detail in each dish and then editing with the assistance of other volunteers, later uploading it to Facebook to share with others.
It feels very exciting learning new things. You have to stand up high and climb down low to get a good suit.
The well-known turmeric rice is also delicious and can be paired with other dishes. Turmeric rice is a must-have food for festivals in Indonesia and has high nutritional value. Minsari Setewan, an overseas Chinese Tzu Chi volunteer from Indonesia, hopes that the cuisine of her hometown can be known to more people.
Cooking is my hobby and I appreciate vegetarian food, so I think that Tzu Chi is the best place we can learn. The most important thing is this turmeric rice. When you cook something, you have to use your heart. When I made a vegetarian chicken thigh for the first time, I just thought of using shredded shiitake mushrooms and lemongrass to represent the bone. This is because I really like the all-natural taste.
Our members usually have only heard about vegetarian food, but now how it's cooked. After this, everyone can see that our brothers and sisters really at work. It's great to present various kinds of food.
Through the lively video sharing of vegetarian recipes, volunteers hope that more people will be willing to change their eating habits to become meat-free.
Taiwan is currently facing a water shortage crisis. Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital is committed to being green with water recycling and utilization. At present, 1/5 of the water used comes from recycled water, and many faucets have been replaced, hoping to save even more water.
Taiwan's water conditions are tightening and hospitals that work to save lives cannot be without water. Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital has 2 large water storage tanks. Tap water amounts to 1,500 tons and recycled water is 1,600 tons. Recycled water accounts for about 1/5 of the hospital's daily water use.
The source of the water in the recycled water storage tank is our rainwater recycling. Although the rainfall is now decreasing, we still have reclaimed water. It's the recycled water from the discharge water, which accounts for a big chunk of it. The recovery of our dialysis water that can be recovered every day is about 30 tons.
Recycled water is used for watering, firefighting, and cleaning. In response to the pandemic, the hospital changed push-type faucet to an automatic induction type, which prevents human touch and can also reduce the waste of water resources.
We made the water into a more atomized form. The area is wider, and after using it for a year, we found that it really saves more than 15,000 degrees of water, compared to the previous automatic closing method using hand pressure.
The 2 large water tanks of Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital can supply the hospital water for 5 days. In the future, if the water is really limited, recycled water can be filtered and disinfected and converted into water for medical treatment and daily use.
Taiwan's animal husbandry industry raises more than 5.5 million pigs and consumes 100 million liters of water every day. In Pingdong, Yunlin, and Zhanghua, the heavy use of groundwater in animal husbandry is causing subsidence and pollution.
This 1-hectare pig farm is surrounded by agricultural land and irrigation waterways. One can see that this area is experiencing a subsidence crisis. The operators of this pig farm drew groundwater 24 hours a day, and then they drain into this ditch, as some believe it is waste of water. Why are they doing this? We go 50 meters downstream to find the answer. As it turns out, all the livestock wastewater here is discharged into local ditches, and the site smells so bad, a large amount of water is mixed in upstream to neutralize the odor.
This livestock wastewater isn't neutral, as this company's water is too polluted and has too much excrement.
This 30-year-old pig farm has been in operation since the time when Taiwan did not pay attention to environmental protection. From beginning to end, water source usage has not changed.
Tap water is too expensive, as they must be pumping groundwater.
Because we are pumping more groundwater than refilling the water layer, groundwater level will slowly drop, so there will be a problem on stratum subsistence.
How much water does the animal husbandry industry consume? To produce 1 kilogram of beef, one consumes 15,000 liters of water. 1 kilogram of pork consumes 6,300 liters of water. Compared with the average water consumption of 280 liters per day, as long as one person eats less beef and pork by 1 kilogram, he can use more domestic water for 54 days and 23 days, respectively.
One pig consumes 25 to 30 liters of water a day, so this is about 50 tons of water. Here we all use groundwater.
When the water conditions in the south are very severe this year, this is a problem. For Pingdong, most of the water source is groundwater. Groundwater is actually not an inexhaustible resource.
95% of residents in Pingdong County are pumping groundwater. Especially farmers pump a lot of groundwater to irrigate crops. This consumes considerable water resources and may cause stratum subsidence. But now a new option is to use treated biogas slurry for irrigation. There is no need to extract groundwater, as this biogas slurry flows along the field and reaches the soil of each crop.
Biogas slurry irrigation not only leaves the fertilizer on the ground, but this prevents it from going in and polluting the river. This even solves the part of irrigation water sources.
Using the pipes to water with biogas slurry was really good for my betel nuts, which had a harvest which was 10 times that of past years, and no pests.
Only 3 farmers participated in the biogas slurry irrigation project in the first year. Then in the second year, it earned a good reputation, and some 39 farmers participated. Besides an effective application of liquid fertilizer, our air improves a lot.
先生一天大概会来载几车？4至5。一台是多少吨？一台7吨，都可以弄定。
Biogas slurry discharged into the farmland for watering purposes not only reduces the pollution of the river, but pig farmers can also reduce their water pollution fees.
The Livestock Research Institute manages a 35-hectare pasture which it irrigates with 6,200 tons of biogas slurry each year, which saves the same amount of irrigation water.
There is no rain in winter in the south, so we don't need to find a source of water. After harvesting, these grasses can be brought back to feed the cows.
A dairy cow weighing 600 kilograms eats 40 kilograms of feed a day. Their appetite is quite amazing, so the food irrigated by the biogas slurry is partly contributing to this feed. Therefore, it can significantly reduce the cost of buying feed.
The pasture generates a lot of wastewater from cattle farming every day, so biogas slurry irrigation is a form of recycling.
With livestock and agricultural industry working together to save costs and water resources, many are achieving a win-win situation. At this moment, when the weather is abnormal and droughts are frequent, biogas slurry irrigation may temporarily relieve the thirst of the land, but to survive longer, we'll have to transform our consumption habits and live in greater harmony with our water resources and the land.
Every March to April is the firefly mating season in Hualien, a local village campaign to turn off lights on the streets where fireflies gather. Here's the footage. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.